Hey, so this is a great question, or a series of questions. Let's talk about it. So, I know it depends on flow, but how many do you use in a day? What do you recommend starting out with? How many pads? Where do you put the dirty ones when you're out and about? How long do they last? And prices. So, first off, prices are on the website. Each pad is sold individually. Um, each pad is priced by cost of material times labor. So prices are on the website. I do have bundles, and I do have bundle and save coupon codes. So let's see. How many do you use in a day? It completely depends on flow. Completely depends on which absorbency pad you get, and it also depends on how often you want to change. Some people will wait until they feel like their pad is completely full. Some people will change every time they go to the bathroom, regardless, even if there's just a little bit of spotting. Um, yeah, so how often you change is completely dependent on your personal preference. But in general, how often you are changing your disposable is usually how often you will be changing your reusable to start out with. But once you get the hang of reusables and how much they absorb and your flow, you can usually stretch it longer. I don't recommend um, pushing limits though, because that can get messy, like with anything. If you push the limits with a disposable, it's gonna get messy as well. So personally, in my stash, because I have a very extremely super heavy flow, I have around, I think, just over 40 pads in my stash. Those are from 10-inch moderate up to 16-inch heavy plus postpartum, which I use mainly for overnight, and sometimes if my flow is like day 1 or 2 or even 3 of my flow, when it's super heavy and I need to go out and about somewhere, I will put on one of these just to make sure that I am absolutely covered. Especially like driving in the car. I have made a 5-hour car trip where I was driving with my 3 little kids in the car, and these absolutely saved me. So, the size of your stash depends on your flow, how many you decide you need for a day, how many you want to be changing through your day. It also depends on when in your cycle you want to wash your pads. Are you wanting to have enough to where you can only wash once at the end of your whole cycle? Then you're going to need more. For me, if my flow is on the shorter, lighter side of what it usually is, I will have pads left over at the end of my cycle, and I'll have plenty left over. If it's on the heavier, longer side, like sometimes my period lasts 4 to 5 days and it's lighter, sometimes it lasts 8 to 10 days and it's heavier. So if it is longer and heavier, then I might have to actually wash my pads in the middle of my cycle. So you would gather up as many pads as you would need depending on when you want to wash. Let's see. Where do you put them when they are dirty, when you're out and about? We have pad wrappers, which are little waterproof bags that you can put your clean pad in. So you would leave the house obviously with one already in your underwear, or if you hadn't started yet, you would just leave the house with your clean pad ready to go in your pad wrapper. Corners popped out. So you'd have your clean pad in your pad wrapper. maybe one in your underwear if you have already started. This goes in your pocket, your purse, your backpack, whatever you're taking with you, whatever you usually take with you, whatever you keep these in whenever you go out and about. When you need to change, you would take the clean one out. You would tuck it on your leg. While you're changing your other pad, you would take your dirty, used pad off, fold it in on itself. You can even take the wings, and it doesn't work as well with the bigger pads, but with the smaller pads especially, you can take the wings and you can snap them together in a little burrito so nothing goes anywhere, but you don't really need to do that. You can just fold it over on itself, stick the dirty pad into the pad wrapper, and I will also add that this is our large pad wrapper, and our 16-inch Heavy Plus Postpartum original shape is the biggest pad that fits into our large pad wrappers. When you get bigger than that, you're going to need to use a wet bag. This is our small wet bag. So anyway, you would put your used pad into your pad wrapper or your wet bag, put it back in your purse, backpack, pocket, whatever, and then when you get home, you would take it out. You would make sure it's not snapped together, and you would put it into your wet bag to store for until wash day. So I do have two sizes of wet bag. This is our small. It has one snap handle, so you can hang it just about anywhere. Zipper, very, very spacious. I can fit an entire large size bath towel into this, like the what are they called, the bath sheets, not the bath towels. And then we have our large wet bags. These have two snap handles, so you can hang them wherever you need to. Zipper, I can fit, I think, 6 bath sheets folded up in here. Now, different brands of bath sheets are going to be different sizes, obviously. But these are great, especially for traveling, or if you have a very long, heavy period, like if you have endometriosis, PCOS, that sort of thing, and you don't want to be washing like every week or whatever because your period lasts for several weeks at a time. I'm doing a video. Just hang this on your doorknob or your towel rack next to your toilet and just wait till it's all the way full and then do your load of laundry. Let's see, was that all of the questions? How long do they last? A cloth menstrual pad can last up to 10 or even more years, depending on if it's treated well. Now, the snaps are plastic resin, and they do come off. They wear out, they come off. Sometimes they'll come off of a brand new pad. We test them, we do this a bunch of times before we put them in the package to send to you. But sometimes you'll pull it out of the package right after it's just been snap tested, and the snap will come right off. So we do sell replacement snaps. We do sell the snap pliers. But if you have enough pads in your stash and you are washing and using them on rotation, these can last you 10 or more years, and you may just have to replace the snaps every once in a while. Stains come out really easily. We use hydrogen peroxide is what I recommend. Stains don't mean it's dirty also. Yeah, wear and tear. Some, depending on your body's pH, you may get a little bit of bleaching spots. Bleaching spots do not come out. But I hope that answers all of the questions.